And these are, believe it or not, look what I'm using for glasses. The minimalist lifestyle. Okay, I'm leaving it in water so that I can peel off these labels. But these are nice. Look at that. It's like a drinking glass. So look, I have a bunch of these that my ex-boyfriend used these to, as spices. I put hot water, kind of cold hot, but it works. I've been peeling off the labels. So I'll do this as I go. I'm not going to go out of my way. I'll do this as I go. So here I have all those. See, there are these Asian spices that come in these little jars. And, you know, you peel off the labels. They're like little cups. So I'm using these as drinking cups. And right now I have paper plates. And some ramen, you know. These are all things my ex-boyfriend let me take. Some little clear glasses for... Oh, the coffee's boiling. I mean, the water's boiling for my coffee. I'm trying to be healthy. That's V8. There's some bagels down there. Again, my ex-boyfriend bought them and then he changed his mind after he'd already bought them, so he let me have them. I got some challah bread. I got a lot of Jewish food for some reason. Cottage cheese, here's some milk, and I think that's kosher. I don't know if it's on purpose because I'm not Jewish, but I think I accidentally bought everything that's kosher. Let's see. This is, I mean, smoked salmon is usually kosher. Jewish people call it lox. I'm pretty sure it's kosher because I think I actually read it on here somewhere. Produced in the USA, smoked salmon. It's important to look at the packaging of what you eat. 2 servings, but this is lasting me more than 2 servings. It's got, I remember reading it. Brooklyn, classic, ready to eat. Oh, it's probably over here where it's ripped. There we go. Ke Pariv. That means it's kosher. But I actually think I read that it said it was kosher, but maybe that was another thing. Oh, here we go. There it is. I ripped it. It says kosher for Passover up at the top. Can you see that? Kosher for Passover, just where I ripped. So that one's kosher. I already knew it would be. Let's see this. Parmalat. And actually, I like it. I don't on purpose buy kosher, but when I know that something is kosher, I feel even better about it because they have extra special, you know, their requirements are even higher than the requirements from the FDA. So you know it's a, you know, a very carefully made product, but I don't see that this has the kosher label on it. Oh, there we go. That no, that's the R. I think if there's a K with a circle in it, that's kosher as well. Well, I don't see it on here. Now, I cannot verify. Maybe I just haven't seen it, so I don't know. If any of you out there knows if Parmalat is kosher. Okay. Now, this is... well, you know you've got a lot of time on your hands when you're just looking on every item in your refrigerator to make sure it's kosher. But anyway, and I'm not even kosher, so I don't even care if it's kosher, but so I can imagine if you are kosher, shopping must be very... well, you probably have your brands that you already know that are kosher, so you don't even have to check. But every time you want to try a new product, you got to be sure. Well, I don't see it on there. But again, I'm looking through the camera. I'm not actually looking. So I'm going to look without the camera now. This has got to be kosher. This is a Jewish kind of bread called Halal. Halal. And I don't know if ban is a Spanish word, so maybe it is sliced. And I mean, this has to be kosher. It's challah bread. But on the other hand, if it wasn't, now challah is Jewish style food, but it doesn't necessarily, the brand isn't necessarily kosher. They might have just made it kosher, a Jewish style. But let me have a look. Okay, I'll let you know. I got to look on each one without the camera, and I'll let you know. Okay, so guys, this one I believe is not kosher. See how you can be confused, because this is a Jewish bread, Jewish recipe bread. You know, challah is a Jewish kind of bread, but the brand is not a kosher brand. So if you're shopping for a kosher friend, someone who's very strict kosher, you know, some people try to eat kosher. It's sort of like the way I'm vegetarian. I'm kind of a vegetarian when possible, you know, but I'm not so strict about it. Well, people who eat kosher meals also come in ranges. They might be extremely, extremely devout and extremely strict on their kosher, and we call it a kosher diet, but it's basically the same diet that the Muslims eat. They have a very similar requirements. They only eat certain food prepared a certain way, animals that have been slaughtered a certain way. So that's why it was curious to me one time. I was shopping with one of my Jewish friends. She is a very strict kosher eater, and we were shopping together, and she took me to an Arab supermarket, and I was completely ignorant of the whole thing. And I know that there's some tension between, and let's not get into politics, but I figured that's interesting. She's so devout, and she's shopping at an Arabic, and as it turns out, that's why I learned. I asked her after we left. I said, well, aren't you religions very, whatever I'd heard in the news, and and she said, oh no, well, we eat the same. A lot of our foods are just exactly the same, we need them prepared a certain way, and everything goes back to one root. Anyway, I'm not going to get into that. All right, so that one is not necessarily kosher. So if you're shopping for a kosher or a Muslim friend who eats very strictly their diet, I'm calling it a kosher diet. I don't know what the Muslims call it. Another thing that maybe someone out there, if you know, tell me. Do Muslims call their diet a kosher diet, or what do they call it? Okay. So if you're shopping for a Muslim friend or a kosher friend who's very devout, who's very, strict about their eating, make sure that you find the Jewish kosher symbol on whatever you're buying. Okay, so I haven't found it on this. Maybe it's there. I haven't found it. I haven't been able to find it on this one. So really the only thing any of my Jewish friends could eat right now from my refrigerator, and I invite you all, Muslim and Jewish people who follow very strict diets, come to my house and this will be your meal. You will have what's left of this salmon, and you will have V8. Yeah, anyway, any of you down there in the comments, tell me what you think, or if I said something that's mistaken. Doesn't hurt to, correct me. I actually want to be corrected because that's how I learn. This is high salt. Might not be good for you, but this is probably high salt too. I should have gotten a low sodium. All right, so I'm expecting you for dinner. Bye.